Hey, welcome everyone. I'm glad you're here. It's Bill Fanning with Talk. For those of you I haven't met, excited you made time to come here. For everyone coming back for our weekly discussion forums, I'm glad you made time to be here as well. So we're just going to give everyone about a minute to roll into the meeting. Um, so we have and we could talk about game 4 tonight. Let's go Mets. I think it's 2-1 Dodgers.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about
Unfortunately,
it.
yeah. Let's not bring that up.
Let's just move right along. Yeah.
It's
How
all
about
right. We're
them?
coming back tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, awesome. Great. Well, looks like we still have people rolling in, but I'm glad you're here. So I'm gonna kind of get us started. So we have a great speaker today, Omar for a while. I'm a big fan of JobPixel, by the way, and I'm also a huge proponent of video. I think it's a far more or an exceptionally effective way of communicating and delivering content to folks. So I'm excited to have this conversation. So before we get started, I just want to give you a couple quick updates. I am still working and developing the board in the box structure, and I chose to not rush it and actually put more time into it so it'd be effective than rush through it and just push it out. So I should have that out to everybody shortly. And then we can have some time to schedule a call and have some feedback on it. The other thing is we have some fun discussion forums that are just us as a community talking. Next week, we're talking about sourcing. And the week after, we're talking about on Halloween, we're talking about what's scary in recruiting. I have invited a couple scary faces to join us for that. So Ben Banks and Joel Cheeseman will be there to actually infuse Halloween scariness right into the
Oh
call.
no. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
oh.
No, I went big. Um, so I think it'll be a fun session, and anyone we will have a costume contest. I'm not telling you what you'll win yet, but anyone who puts on a costume can be in the running. One of the other things that's really exciting to me, I just wanted to share, is that our membership is really growing quite well, and it's super exciting to come in every morning and see 5 or 6 or more people joining Talk. So if there's anybody in your community that you think should be part of our network, please have them come on in, because it's the more people we have, the more we can do, and it's really fun to see that many people coming in. And as always, any suggestions for vendors or vendor reviews that you want to leave in our vendor marketplace, awesome. It makes it a better resource for your peers to discover the next technologies they may need. So really, if you could take a second to do that at some point, it'd be much appreciated. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Omar. He's a founder and CEO of JobPixel. And I heard him speak recently at RecFest. It was outstanding. And I'm really excited for him to share that message with us today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Omar, you are more than, I think you are on the deck to share yours, and we should be off to the races.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Omar. I am the founder and CEO of a company called JobPixel. We are the leading user-generated content platform in our industry. We allow large organizations such as Randstad, Cognizant, Boston Medical Center, and others to collect short-form video content and images from their employee base to use that content in employer branding and recruitment marketing. And today, the talk is going to be us really teaching you ways to do video on your own, and then ways that we also can help. But we're going to walk through a few questions right now to just get everybody engaged. So please, if you know some of those answers, raise your hand, speak up, or just say it in the chat. And then we'll get through it. Super excited to be here. All right, let's do this. All right. So I am going to start with the first question, which is trends. So what do you think is the average time per day spent watching video in the United States?
2 hours.
Chris in chat said 3 hours.
3 hours.
Obviously, he doesn't have a teenage daughter, because
Hours.
there we go. We're getting better. 4 hours is closer.
All right.
Does
Let's
this
see.
include TV or like just strictly YouTube videos? Or like anything like that?
Everything,
Everything.
all combined. All right. Okay. There you go. 6, 4, 10. Oh my God. 8. All right, here we go. All right, so the answer is 3.3 hours a day. So most people were pretty close, which is really fantastic. And funny enough, this is growing really rapidly. In 2020, it was only an hour and a half. So we're continuing to basically absorb more content over and over and over again, thanks to TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all those other places. We're watching a lot more video than we've ever have. And then so next question is going to be, what percentage of companies use video in their recruitment marketing strategy? Any guesses? It's a percentage. 25%,
3.3%.
30, 70, 15, 25, 20%, 50, 99. Wow, 99. That would be nice. Awesome. All right. 30% only. So, and then does this shock anybody here? Let's see the chat.
Seems a
Nope.
bit high, actually.
Well, we're glad that it's growing because about 4 or 5 years ago, it was only about 5% of companies. So it's growing rapidly. So things are improving a lot for a lot of organizations that they're trying to be a part of the times of what's happening. What percentage of people want to watch a video about a product, service, or brand before making a decision? Does anybody know? 60%, 75, 50, 99. Think of yourself, just like you personally. If you're making a big decision to purchase something, it's pretty high, right? There we go. Fantastic. All right. It's 91%. So lots of people are really, really close. All right. So loss ROI. What percentage of recruitment marketing dollars are wasted? So whether it's purchasing ads, putting money into a job board, 50%, 60. All right. Amazing. All right. The answer is upward of 60%, depending on the industry.
Mhm.
The last one is a little bit of a shocker. So what's the average conversion rate on a generic job posting? So a conversion rate for a job posting is how many candidates do you have to drive to a job to actually convert? How many of them would actually convert out of the 100 for that job on average in all industries? Anybody wants to guess? 5%, 30%, 35.3%, 10%, 10, 25. All right. So are you all ready to be shocked? It's 1%. That's the average right now. That's just the reality. And that's across a lot of industries because a lot of candidates, they go onto your career site, ATS, et cetera, and they're like, okay, this is a very lengthy process. I don't really want to go through it. And that's why they end up going to like other job boards where they can just quick apply a lot of different positions and call it a day. But yeah, the current right now is about 1%. So a lot, and that's one of the main reasons to application, conversion to application. Are you looking to boost your job ads performance? And are you looking to empower your recruiters to connect with your candidates at a much deeper level? Well, video is the best way. Collecting authentic video content from your employees, talking about why they love working for your company and why they've been there for X amount of years, absolutely skyrocket your metrics, such as your application rates, improving your SEO, driving more traffic to your career site, and even attracting better candidates that are sick and tired of the good old job ad jargon that they see out there in the world. JobPixel is trusted by some of the top companies in the world, such as Cognizant, US Cellular, Boston Medical Center, Arkansas Children's Hospital, and many more. Reach out to our team today to get a custom business case showing you how to improve your metrics at a level you've never seen before. We can't wait to show you what video can do. Thanks. Awesome. All right.
So Omar, just to make sure I'm clear, so you need to drive, according to that statistic, 100 visits
Yep.
to get an apply.
Yep. Absolutely.
That makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
Usually happens. Some organizations that have a strong brand, they have a much higher conversion rate. We have clients that work with us that have a 30 to 40% conversion, which is really fantastic. But on average, we're seeing about 1%. If you're not doing any type of work, you're just kind of putting it bare bones. You're just posting the job and, hoping for the best. So now I'm going to kind of start with questions, and we love keeping this rolling as a discussion. So what are the unique challenges that you're facing in talent acquisition today? Please let us know in the chat. Or talk.
Yeah, if anyone wants to share some of the challenges that they're facing, I think that'd be really interesting to hear about.
Finding qualified candidates, working effectively, time to do comprehensive passive research, lack of budget for employer branding. I'm in healthcare, so qualified candidates, pay transparency, compensation, and in-office work. These are all really great ones. Receptive hiring managers, applicants that are not qualified, retention, internal mobility, connecting with the right candidates. All right. Anything else? Candidates callback, forecast ROI on spend. Lots of really, really good ones. It's great. Limited budget. Absolutely. So, and this is why we're gonna kind of talk about the recruitment kind of timeline or the evolution of hiring that we've had. So we started with the signs in the 1900s, then we went to newspapers, then we went to the digital era, and we kind of just stopped. And then basically from 2012-ish until now, not much has happened. We're continuing to do kind of the same things over and over and over again, which is, posting on the job boards, and then posting on the career side through our ATS. And oh, Peter, that is a really good one. Getting marketing team to understand what recruitment marketing is very different. It needs to be more authentic and less branded, 100%. And this is kind of what's been happening to a lot of recruiting team. They are getting pushed into a corner and saying, hey, oh, you're just posting jobs. People should be applying left and right. We're paying people money. And the reality, that does not exist. That's not the reality. It's actually harder than ever to attract really top talent to your organization. And that's why we've been stuck here. A lot of, leadership, et cetera, they're not really putting a lot of emphasis and attention and investment, especially money and resources into your employer branding. And that's why a lot of organizations are stuck at that 1% conversion rate and can't really move the needle. And this is kind of what we see, and we're just focusing on the passive outreach right now. Typical recruiter outreach looks like this. Hello, Stan. My name is Omar. I'm a recruiter with Blue House. We have an opening for a customer onboarding specialist, and your background is excellent. Please go to our career site to submit your application, or if you'd like to hop on a call and discuss the position, please let me know what your availability looks like. That's what most of the time people get, especially if they're kind of a top talent. But the thing is, if you're a qualified person, you're getting a lot of those every single day. And it's really hard to differentiate what's good, what's bad. And sometimes, you get a request from a company, but you hear a brand name that you recognize and you're like, oh my God, this is a great organization. I would love to hear from them. But if it's an organization you've never heard from, you've never met anyone that works there, your likelihood to actually respond to those is a lot lower. So sometimes you have to really improve your outreach to those candidates. So one example that we share and we see with organizations is the JobPixel recruiter outreach here, but you can do this on your own. So whenever you're doing messaging to passive talent, you're trying to attract them, share some resources with your outreach, videos, images, what's going on in the organizations, recent events where you've had some fantastic news come out to the world, etc. Attaching that and including that a part of your messaging is really, really important to differentiate yourself from all the sea of the other recruiters that are messaging that same talented person 10, 15, 20 times a day. So who currently uses video here? Anybody? I've seen a couple of people in the chat already have talked about video, and we'll dig a little bit deeper right now. Our team does all the time. Amazing, amazing. Unfortunately, very little. We use some. Video for marketing, not recruiting in general. We see that happen a lot, very often. Some. Great. So in reality is we live in a world now where user-generated content is becoming the way. It's not, it used to be a nice to have, now it's a must-have for your organization before the candidate decides whether they want to move forward with your organization or not. That's just the reality. They will research your LinkedIn, your career site, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, everything about you as an organization before making that decision. Because nowadays it's not just about the salary, it's about the people that I'm going to be working with, how am I going to feel at work. Some people even mentioned earlier, like, what is the atmosphere going to look like? Am I going to be working in an office? Am I going to be working remote? In healthcare, for example, am I going to be working with a great crew around me? And we see that a lot and if you talk to a lot of candidates, a lot of them will mention, like, it's not just about the pay anymore. A lot of organizations are paying really well, but now I want to make sure what different, why would I pick this hospital versus this hospital? And sometimes the pay is the same, benefits are the same for the most part, but the culture is different, and that would attract people. And one example I always like to use is, like, whenever you ask someone, so I'm going to ask you all a question and we'll see their responses. If I would give you an option, you either work for McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, which one would you go for? Look at that. Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. Does anybody want to just jump in on and tell me why most of the people are going with Chick-fil-A?
I would
That's
say it's because of their culture and the customer experience. When I visit their stores, doesn't matter where you go. If you go to a Chick-fil-A, the quality and the service is consistent.
Right, but it built up into this intrinsic feeling almost, right? Of like, you just feel like you will connect better with this brand, although you're probably not even the target audience for some of their jobs, right? And that's literally the definition of employer brand. What would attract you to a brand more? Whether it's the quality of service, maybe you ate their food. And some organizations now, we're actually starting to see, they're doing research to actually ask candidates, if you've had a really bad candidate experience, how much less likely are you to be a customer of our brand? Chick-fil-A has done this, General Electric has done this, and every single one have seen, if someone has a bad candidate experience or does not enjoy their employer brand, their likelihood to purchase from that brand reduces dramatically. We're seeing upwards of 50% in some of the studies that we've seen. And that's why employer brand matters. And a lot of those discussions, when you're talking to your leaders, to finance, to your CFO, we need to talk about that more. We need to have a conversation about that. And one aspect of that is creating really awesome, authentic content to share the culture of the organization and who you are and what you do to the world. So, so that's why user-generated content is really important. Continuing to share the culture and the stories of the people, and then tying that into the service or the products of the organization that you're working with. So if you're not currently using video, why? So I wanna see what other people have here in responses, and then we'll discuss a few of those. All right, let's see. Time and resource and budget. I don't know where to start. Resources and budget. What else? All right, let's see. Strategy and execution. So, and these are all absolutely solid reasons why you would not do video. But sometimes it's actually pretty simple. I'm assuming everybody here has a phone with a camera on it. I would hope so, right? All you have to do sometimes is grab your phone, lift it up, and record a quick video about your organization, your positions, etc. Zero budget, and takes about 30 seconds to do. And you can remake the video over and over and over and over again, as many times as you want, until you get the perfect one. Usually what we see with organizations is that they start small. So start with 5 videos, 10 videos and then our biggest barrier is finding people who are willing to be featured in video. They're much more comfortable being in photos. Absolutely. And that's fine, right? You can always start with photos, for example. So you can start taking pictures of the workplace, you at work, what are you doing, upcoming events, a potluck, etc., and sharing more and more of that content to show the culture of your organization. And then eventually with time leading into video. So you don't have to go straight away with video right away, but honestly, your answer right now, if you don't have the time, you don't have the budget and everything, it's in the phone, the device that you have in your hand. Start with that and then build that up. And what we see with content is that it becomes exponential. When you start, other people around you will eventually start with time. There was a video back in the day when I used to be a kid where they would put the old VHS videos, the really funny bloopers, all of that at like midnight or 1 a.m. on the TV. And there was this one video called How to Start a Movement. And it's this one guy who's in the middle of a green field, open area, just dancing on his own. And then another person joins and dances with them, and another person joins, another person. 5 minutes later, it is 200, 300 people all dancing together, having the greatest time of their life, and it turns into a concert. And that's what we see with a lot of organizations that have not really invested in employer brand. It starts with one person that basically comes in, starts talking about the day in the life, etc. And we're seeing a lot of that content already pop up on TikTok, on LinkedIn videos, etc. So people are already doing that. So what you want to do is you want to find, if you don't want to do it yourself, that's fine. Find some of the people who are really outspoken in your organization. And then from there, sorry, my 20-month-old just walked into the room. Excuse me. Sorry. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry, everybody. My son just walked into the room.
No
Awesome.
worries, Omar.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so basically what happened, where was I? Starting with the people. So finding who are the outspoken folks in your organization, having a conversation with them about becoming really content creators. I'll bring him in. If he comes in again, Chris, I'll show him in just a second. He wants video time. Yes. He loves being in videos. So what we usually see is finding out who are the outspoken people in your organization, approaching them and saying, hey, can you just make one piece of content? Try it 5 times. It's just like doing outreach to candidates. Some of them are going to say no. Eventually, someone is going to say yes. And those yes people are going to actually propel you to continue to do more and more and more. So I'm going to move on to the next slide right now and walk through one of our clients right now who had that problem. As an organization, they had no content whatsoever, but they took it to the next level. They're in healthcare, they're a children's hospital, so there was a lot of red tape, lots of budget issues, and an insane amount of competition for those talent, those candidates that they were looking after. So, can everybody see my screen? Fantastic. So Colby Wilson is one of our clients. He's the director of talent acquisition for Arkansas Children's Hospital. They have over 200 open positions per month, registered nurses to technicians, and everything you can imagine. And they struggle to engage candidates given the massive labor shortage in healthcare specifically, and they struggle to differentiate against the competition. There's a lot of other organizations in that same area that are fighting for that same candidate over and over and over again. And this is what we did for them. They found amazing creators within their organization that they've created really awesome content that you can see up top. And that content is a bunch of videos of people showing what it looks like to work for the organization, who they are, etc. And right now they have thousands of videos created within JobPixel. They started with like 10, and then it grew to 100, to 1,000, and to a few thousand within literally a year and a half, and absolutely differentiated their process and who they are as the top employer in their region. And I'm going to walk you through some of those examples. So there we go. So I'm going to show you guys the video of Colby talking about the impact of video, and then I'm going to show you an example in just a second.
I'm Colby Wilson, Director of Talent Acquisition at Arkansas Children's. We wanted to be strategically different than our peers in how we recruit and how we attract talent. And JobPixel has been the perfect partner for that endeavor. Since launching with JobPixel, we have actually seen a 25% increase in applicant volume, and our hires have also increased by 18%. What's really neat is we can track views and analytics through JobPixel's platform as well. So being a data-driven guy, this has been very helpful to me. Creating videos and making it fun has really never been easier. We weave the video creation into our intake sessions with hiring leaders, and it's integral to our recruitment strategy. Working with Omar and his team has been unlike working with any other partner. They're consistently finding ways to enhance and align their services to meet our needs. So if you're looking for a partner to help you with video creation to support your recruitment efforts, I cannot say enough good things about working with them. Please check them out.
So what we did with them is we initially started helping them find who are the creators in their organization. And then we started, and I'll show you how to walk through that process on your own without really needing our help. But I'm going to show you a quick example of some of the stuff that they have done that is absolutely fantastic.
We're recruiters. Of course we recruit with creative content. Or see, of course we love our new friends. I'm a four-tainer. Of course I get team out.
I'm a nurse in the pediatric ICU. Of course, our team works together, especially in the most critical time.
We're on 4C. Of course we do diabetic education. I'm an ICU nurse. Of course I'll help you with trach care. 4C. Of course we throw kidney parties for our transplant patients.
I'm a diabetes nurse. Of course, I keep ways to treat low blood sugars on hand at all times.
I work at the Southwest Lateral Clinic. Por supuesto que hablamos español para poder atender a nuestros pacientes en su propio idioma.
I'm a 3D, 3E nurse. Of course I know everything about broken bones. I'm a medical social worker. Of course I'm going to listen to you without judgment and meet you where you're at. I'm a burn nurse. Of course I'm going to find care.
I work in child life. Of course, we use medical play to help children cope with hospitalization.
I'm a student nurse central. Of course I want to work at Arkansas Children's.
We're Arkansas Children's.
Now, say anybody here wants to work for them now? Let me know in the comments. How did that feel just watching that? Move these videos. They care, authentic, connected to them, personable, genuine, felt like they had fun and care, felt fun and genuine. Do people usually feel that when they're at a hospital? Aren't people scared? And they're like, oh my God, it's a hospital, blood and terrible things happening usually. And that's what really showcase a healthy work environment exactly. And all it took is just them grabbing their phone, talking to some people, and building this amazing creator ecosystem that they have in their organization. They had nothing. Marketing did not help. They did not have the resources, but they turned their organization to an absolute content creation machine just by simply taking that step forward, finding a few creators. Started with one person, then it went to 2, then to 3, to 10, and then it just grew into this incredible. So Michelle, you can see them on LinkedIn, you can see them on the career site, they're everywhere. But if you go on LinkedIn and follow every one of their recruiters, became a content creator almost, so you can actually see a lot of the video content that they create. So if you find any of the of them, I don't know if Amanda is here, but we can mention a few names that we can put in the for their LinkedIn profiles that you guys can go check out, of course. Awesome. All right, so we're going to start with type 1, which is the culture content and how to create it. So here's an example of a culture content piece from one of our clients, Devon Energy.
Good morning. My name is Amancio. I'm foreman for Devon Energy. And today I'm just going to talk about what do I enjoy about my job here at Devon Energy. Number one, I enjoy coming to work every day. I enjoy coming to a place where everybody is valued. I love a place where we give back to the community, where we're able to do things that are not only benefiting the company, but also benefiting our community and the people in our community.
So, and content like this does not have to be extravagant. It does not have to have makeup and lighting and all that stuff. All it takes a phone, hit record, and you'll be able to start recording. And usually, accounts like this or videos like this, you'll be able to create something called tell me about the people you work with. Tell me about the customers or partners you work with. What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy about working here? Why should people want to work for us? Tell me about your involvement in the community, affinity groups, events, etc. Very general questions to talk about the culture of the organization. And it's kind of crazy. You would find the same people on the same team sometimes, and you ask them that same question, and they would give you a completely different answer from one another. So that's the first piece of content, which is like the culture content, the general, talking about why do you love working here? Why do you pick? Another really great example is when you hire someone new, they join the organization and you know it's a tough position to fill. Ask them right away. Just go hop on a Zoom call with them, be like, hey, is it okay if I can record this? And ask them the question of, why did you pick us instead of all the other competitors that were probably going after you? And you will get really fantastic answers really quickly just about why they were really attracted to the culture. Very similar to the Chick-fil-A and McDonald's example that we used earlier. Awesome. All right. The next one is going to be job-specific content. So job-specific content, this is what it looks like.
Hi, I'm Maria, and behind the camera is my coworker Evie. We are both recruiters here at Arkansas Children. You guys are gonna go on a little scavenger hunt with us. I'm looking for a preschool teacher supervisor.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm one of the teacher supervisors at Arkansas Children's Child Enrichment Center. No, nothing here. Maria's still out there looking for more candidates. In the meantime, let me share some details about the position. The ideal candidate will have to have a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience and 4 years of experience. If you're looking for a rewarding career in a well-established organization with opportunities to grow, we'd love to meet you.
Hi, I'm Kariba. I'm the director here at the Child Enrichment Center. Join us where we can play, learn, and grow together.
So then this piece of content is really focused on only a very specific job. So questions to ask: what does the day in the life look like for this role? What excites you most about this role? What are some of the projects that this role will work on? And maybe a reason that the role is open, like if someone was promoted, etc. And then ask them to tell you about the rest of the team and the people around them. So are very specific. Any questions here? See, let me see. Oh, Arkansas video examples. Thank you, Amanda. We just shared some of those videos over here. So any questions so far before I move on? Oh, Bill, I think you're muted.
I am muted. I was wondering, because we've talked a little bit about people getting their phone and creating these videos. Once they do that, what's the fastest way? Is it LinkedIn? Is it like, talk a little bit about where they put them? Because I think the videos are incredible, but often companies create amazing content and need to get it in front of people to view it. So if somebody was out there right now thinking about doing this with their phone, where should they be thinking about putting these types of videos?
So initially everywhere. Later, where your specific audience is. So everywhere means creating a follower base of people that will follow you just for the content that you're creating. So put it on LinkedIn in our industry is probably very important. I would say probably the most important channel to go after. X/Twitter. I don't want Elon to kill me, so we'll call it X for now. Facebook. Your career site. So adding those videos, reaching out to whoever manages your website and just adding some of that video content on your made landing pages. Those are really good places because those are the most people are going to find everywhere. The other thing that I always recommend to folks is creating your own TikTok channel for your talent team. So X company, talent, get the username. Chances are the username is probably not taken, and just create content there. All it takes is one video catching on fire, going viral, and then you'll have enough candidates probably for the next 6 months of a lot of people coming to your organization trying to apply because they saw something really cool. And a lot of organizations have been doing that. A really, really successful organization that we've seen use video to attract talent and customers is Duolingo. Anybody in the comment section, have you ever seen Duolingo on TikTok? If someone have seen them, they'll know. Yes. So the most hilarious accounts on TikTok, period, probably at this point. Some of their stuff, some of the content is like a straight up HR violation in many cases, or like, oh my God, who thought of this? But they use humor to attract people. And this is the next piece. Humor, sells really, really well. People like to laugh. That's just the reality. It's a universal thing. So using humor, whether it's trends that are happening in the world, etc., goes a long way. So posting it on those channels, so LinkedIn, your career site, etc., and then using humor will get you great results every single time. Awesome. All right. And all employees can create great videos. So colleagues, so for employee spotlights, job spotlight, culture spotlight, behind the scenes videos and tours, providing answers to frequently asked questions, celebrations, and then getting videos from leadership, like thought leadership, employer recognition and appreciation, town hall segments, celebrations, career development tips and advice. All that stuff you absolutely can do.
Yeah. Omar, great question or great point from Colleen that she made, that her culture is a little more serious and dry.
Yep, that's fine. Then instead of just using humor, you can just share the actual authenticity. Authenticity matters here, right? So sharing that culture is important because a lot of us don't know that, if we just come in and just see kind of the shell that we see out there. So sharing some of that content, even if someone is serious, being serious and still speaking about stuff, that's still way better than nothing, way better. So even if there's a dry culture, that's fine. Showcase that. And sometimes that might open up people to actually become less dry and actually a lot more fun eventually down the line. But there's no problem with that. You can absolutely share. We have plenty of clients that are in very, very serious industries, federal contractors, etc., that don't use humor at all, but they still get the message across and share their culture to attract that serious type of candidate, for example. Let's call it that. So over here, this slide, I am gonna just share a quick, what about resistance from leadership about content? That's something that I think is gonna, with time, is gonna eventually phase out. There is a certain type of thinking that I think is gonna change eventually with time. But one thing, Colleen, that I would recommend to you is data. Data. Showcasing actual, and if you can reach out to me, I'll have a link to my calendar at the end, and I'm more than happy to walk you through a strategy of how to present numbers to leadership, whether it's a case study, numbers, cost savings, etc. Those things speak volume to leadership that is really serious, that are like, I don't know what the value of content is, but if you map it out, show a forecast of how this can actually affect, you can see a huge difference. We have customers that have saved close to $1 million in agency fees because they now attract all the talent that they need to fill all their positions using video content instead of having to rely on outside firms, etc. So, and you can model that. That's real cost savings that leadership really cares about and makes them look really good. So these are a lot of things that we can discuss on a one-on-one. Happy to help. Awesome. So this is editing is another thing that we hear from a lot of people. They're like, what is the perfect video? Like, what does that look like? So usually this is kind of the rule of thumb, and it's like, we'll keep it pretty straightforward. So the first 3 to 5 seconds, the high note or the important quote from the video. So take a snapshot of the most important thing that person talked about, the most exciting things they've talked about, and put it as the first 3 to 5 seconds to grab a person's attention. For example, I love this place. Someone screamed in the video. Put that as the first 3 to 5 seconds to attract the viewer to stick to that video. Then right after that is you could put the company brand and logo with an animation. You can easily do that either with JobPixel, our platform, or you can use it with Canva or one of those other tools. Or just simply reach out to marketing and say, hey, can I just get the logo and the colors that we have in a simple frame? Usually they'll deliver that to you. If they can't, you can just put pull the logo out, put it on, and then so people know which organization this content is for. And then the main content, enhancing your audio quality by removing background noise, removing pauses, filler words. All of this stuff now, we do it automatically in JobPixel, but if you need to do that, there are a lot of free tools out there in the world that will allow you to do all of that within seconds using the power of AI. That's the beauty of AI right now. You plug in a piece of video content, it will come out perfect and you'll be able to use it. So you don't have to go through every single segment. And then a written and spoken call to action. That's probably the most important thing in my opinion. Some people, they're like, oh, we're doing content, but we're not really getting an ROI. It's because you're just doing the video. You're not telling people apply now, sign up to our talent community, visit our career site, schedule a time with me. So a call to action is really important to a viewer. So always ask your audience, what do you want from them at the end? And then closing it out with, again, the company brand and logo with an animation or a tagline, etc., that you can add in there. So that's simple. Any questions here in the chat? I'm happy to answer them. And, we can have a quick discussion before we move forward. Questions?
I think that's an excellent advice that you put to have a clear, crisp call to action at the end of the video. While it seems overly simplistic, I think it really is needed to allow people to know what to do, what the next step is. So I think that's a great call out.
Absolutely. And it's actually also really good when you're talking to marketing. Marketing are extremely data savvy as well. They really look at impressions and clicks and all that fun stuff. So when we talk about CTAs and clicks and all that stuff, it elevates the conversation with them. And sometimes you'll get a lot more support from them as you kind of go through this journey of creating your employer brand, using recruitment marketing and video and content and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to kind of play this video, but with JobPixel, we're an end-to-end platform. So we allow you to request the videos and the images through a couple of clicks within the platform, review the content, edit it, brand it, publish it, and track its performance across all your channels, whether it's deploying on your career site, job descriptions, and all that fun stuff. I'm happy to walk you through all that and talk about that. But I wanted this to be as much of a learning experience as possible. But JobPixel can do everything that we've talked about here on this call end to end in one place. Some of the brands that we support right now are Ronstadt, Cognizant, Metadata, Arkansas Children's, TELUS, Boston Medical Center, US Cellular, and many others. We have a lot more coming that we're going to be adding to this list as well. And a lot of organizations are taking this path of we need to focus on our brand to get us better conversion, showcase our brand and culture in a much better way, and eventually save us a lot of money. Because if our brand is recognized, a lot of people are going to work here automatically without us having to do much promotion or advertising, etc. So to try out JobPixel, if you would like, up to you. If you scan this QR code with your phone, it will actually take you through our creation process. There's a quick video of me kind of walking you through the product and how it works. And then from there, you can record a video. This is how easy it is to request a video from anyone. You can do it via text message, email, QR code, and everything else you can imagine.
Awesome.
All right. So what we've learned, hopefully, today. So the future of recruiting, the problem of traditional outreach, the power of video content, how to make a great videos, and how we do it at JobPixel. We have plenty of time right now for questions opening up. So happy to answer them. But if you want, I'm going to keep this on the screen right now. So you can scan this, either find me on LinkedIn, Omar, Khateeb, just JobPixel, and you'll find me. Feel free to connect with me, or you can scan this QR code to book a time. I can talk about a strategy with you and how we can, help you start with your content, even without JobPixel. We're more than happy to support because we really believe that this is the future of what we do in our industry. So I'll keep this on for another 10 seconds before I take it off, but I'm happy to answer any questions and start a discussion.
So selfishly, I have one question that I think would be helpful for everyone. We originally started the conversation talking about a 1% conversion ratio from visits to applies.
Yep.
Without citing specifics, what does video bring to that type of process, right? What are we looking at? If that was a traditional recruiting effort that gets you a 1% conversion ratio, when we shift and bring video into the equation, what does that look like then?
We see anything from 300 all the way to 2000% improvement in your initial conversion rate because of that authenticity piece that people are craving and looking for. Lots of candidates have what we call a job description fatigue. They're tired of reading the same stuff over and over again. So when they see a video, they're like, aha, this is an interesting organization. They're doing things differently. I would love to check them out. So that would be, kind of my response to that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Can your system integrate into an ATS? Yes, absolutely. So we pull your XML feed directly through your ATS. We already have plenty of existing integration with Smart Recruiters, Greenhouse, Great People, and many others. But usually it's super easy for us to set up, takes about 24 hours. It's actually more important to actually integrate with your career site provider because they already have an XML feed of all of your jobs getting feeded into the website. So if we get that feed, we're actually able to embed video content in all the jobs almost instantly. Putting this type of right into, yep, absolutely. So Renee, that's a great question. I'm happy to share a quick example with you all so you can see it. Give me 1 second.
That would be great. Thank you. We're trying to experiment maybe next year with just adding some more audio or just some more interactivity into the job description. So this conversation was awesome. Thank you for leading this.
Absolutely. So Randstad is one of our clients. Everybody knows Randstad here. So they're a staffing company. If you go to their career site right now, you'll see careers at Randstad. You'll see a bunch of video content that is powered by JobPixel directly on their career page. But if you go to their jobs, you'll actually see video job descriptions added into all the jobs. As you can see, it's a talent solutions manager position here, and we automatically embed a talent solutions manager video talking about this position. This was posted 6 days ago. It automatically embeds that video through their ATS and our integration with them.
Yes, I have.
Oh, another question, Renee?
No, I was just saying this was awesome. Thank you for the example.
Absolutely. All right. Any other questions? So who's gonna, all right, here, do you have a list of ATSs? Wait, oh, there it is. You can integrate with. Yes, absolutely. And as I've mentioned, the career site actually is even more important. So usually embedding into the career page provider is a lot more important because that's where the work actually happens. The applicant tracking system is where we just pull the XML feed. Everything else is not really that important. As long as you have a career site, we can actually pull that feed and automatically embed the jobs in there. But we have plenty of clients where they have landing pages, etc., or a custom site. A great example is US Cellular. So I can go to their site. We have nothing to do with their ATS whatsoever. And you'll be able to see video content embedded on the career page, the job descriptions, all of that without even touching the ATS in any shape or form. But I'm happy to, if you want to send me a message or I can just put a note down, I'll send you a list of all the ones we already integrate with. But usually it takes 24 hours to embed. But here's a great example of that.
No, I think that's a great point that you just made, Omar, that the 24 hours is a reasonable time frame to do an easy project. I think that a lot of times and I'm speaking for me personally, when I look at technologies, they're exciting, but the ease of use is sometimes not simple. And so 24 hours to me, that's powerful because not only is this a great conversion ratio improvement, but it's easy to put in place with your career site. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
So I'm curious for the folks out there that had mentioned earlier on the time and resources as being a challenge of doing something like this. This discussion help kind of break down some of those barriers to make it to actually help you see that this is obtainable. I think a lot of times in our industry, we see something and we think it's got a lot of hoops to jump through to execute. And the cool thing about video is, as Omar said, the device to make it happen is in our hand. And that to me it makes it certainly obtainable that our employees can just record quick, authentic snapshots of themselves. I'm curious how that is changed anyone's perception today, or maybe encourage somebody to try it.
I think for us, and I'm with iHeartMedia, like Renee, you had a great question there about the embedding that into our job descriptions. For us, we've got a very stringent process around content and content review. We're a big branding company, right? We're an advertising company, so we advertise for lots of other companies. We provide branding and creative for other companies. So it's for us, it's all about polish and making sure that the right eyes are going through it, and we have a really stringent process there. I would imagine that's the same for a lot of companies, big and small. So that's our big challenge. But I think what that may not hold us back from is working with our recruiters on some some content that they can do right on LinkedIn to provide their take and what they're looking for and add a little bit more personality to it. But that's our kind of chief concern, is just that review process that goes into it.
Absolutely. And it's all built into JobPixel specifically. So reviewing the content, making sure that it fits the brand guidelines, et cetera, that's all already a part of the way that we do things here as an organization. So at any time a video comes in, someone in the admin page or set up as an admin, whether it's legal, marketing, et cetera, will be able to review that video before it's even live. So, and they can delete that as well if it doesn't meet certain criteria.
Yeah, I love the checks and balances around the review process, because it's needed, right? Like,
oh yeah,
you can't just have everything go out there, but that's great. And I love what you showed on the job descriptions. I think we need to do more of that and make it more interactive instead of just a blank wall of text that people maybe skim through or not, or go to the requirements. I love that video, especially if you have a job that you hire for a lot, that there's economies of scale there that takes place.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your company?
iHeartMedia.
Oh, so iHeartMedia. Yeah. So usually what we we looked at your, looking at your site right now. That's what it is. So usually, because you take candidates from your career page to view current openings in Workday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that happens before then? Do you have like any other like wrappers around the site that takes your XML feed outside of Workday so a candidate can see like more branding?
Not yet. We've been toying around with customized like landing pages through Workday and some other vendors for some more customization there, depending on the job profile. But really, until we do a bit of a redux on our site, that's what we've got right now.
Yeah. So usually what we see is whenever we have an organization like you come in, so the main page, which is this one right here, we would do something similar to this. So this is just a local embedment. Don't worry, this doesn't live on your site,
Yeah.
But we'll be able to like pop in one of our widgets just like that on the bottom right, for example, with video content about iHeart and who you are. But it would live on this page right here, which is the iHeartMedia one. But I just put it on the Workday page because it's more white space. But that's what it would look like, for example.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. And excited to see what our site evolves into, and I'll definitely get some time with you, Omar, to maybe talk through some more of that.
Amazing. Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody here that is actually gonna go and test creating content on their own? Heck yeah, there we go. That's what
What we want to say.
love it. Yes, love it. I'm all for it. Amazing. All right. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn to talk about content. I love talking about video. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll probably know that. So happy to chat with that. Jump on a call. We can talk for an entire hour. Just about video. So I just love content. I think user-generated content is the future. I'm a big TikTok fan myself as well. I see myself sitting on it for hours some days to see what trends that are happening in the world. But it doesn't have to be serious. It can be fun, exciting, and at the same time deliver a fantastic business result. So keep that in your mind as you kind of go through down this journey. But we're more than happy to support. So reach out, and happy to support you.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you very much. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a great discussion. I think the metrics around video always impress me. And the other thing that always amazes me is the retention of the information when you see it in the video versus reading it. My daughter can spend hours reading her homework and remember nothing, and can remember everything about Taylor Swift she watched on a video, which blows my mind every time. I'm like, how do you know that? But she does. She's a walking Taylor Swift encyclopedia. So thank you everyone very much for coming. I would as always, video, I think is the future. I agree with Omar, and their platform makes it really easy for us to take advantage of it. So please reach out if that sounds like something could benefit you. And I'm going to wrap the call up. But again, thanks everyone for being here. Really appreciate it. And hope everyone has a great end of the week. And we'll talk to you next Thursday when we talk about sourcing wars. So we'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.